What's happening, guys? Good morning, and thank you for tuning in to Rules for Rebels. Today we're going to be talking about Amazon merch. I was listening to Glenn and Yong of the Merch Minds podcast the other day. I'm kind of friends with those guys, been on the podcast once or twice before, and you guys may have seen Yong on this channel doing an interview or two talking about merch and his new book and everything else. What I wanted to talk about today is some updates regarding Amazon merch, and then also Glenn and Yong had launched into kind of an interesting discussion about is Amazon merch passive income, as well as just kind of what is passive income. So I thought that's what we would talk about today. Before we get into the whole passive income end of things, I thought we would talk a little bit about some merch updates. A couple of these I've already announced, but maybe you guys missed them. So t-shirt royalties have been cut, or I guess I should say the base price has been raised. So if you're still selling your t-shirts at the same price as you were in December, you're getting, I forget off the top of my head, I want to say about $1.46, $1.48 less per t-shirt. They have raised the, this is actually one of my Amazon merch hoodies. They have actually raised the payout on hoodies like 30 cents or 50 cents, something pretty insignificant, but I think it was kind of like, hey, we're jipping you on the t-shirts, but we're giving you a little bit more on the hoodies. Obviously, hoodies aren't selling as much as t-shirts, but I've sold a few hoodies, so that's kind of cool. In terms of updates on Amazon merch, though, we have the new Port and Company t-shirts out. We have Amazon cutting our royalties on t-shirts a little bit. And then there's one complaint that I've heard from a lot of merch sellers in regards to these new Port and Company t-shirts. So a lot of people are reporting that the designs are placed lower on the t-shirt. So if you were selling an Anvil t-shirt where the design was kind of the perfect area right on the chest right here, well, now it might be on the lower chest or the upper end of your tummy kind of thing, like not really the ideal placement. And as you guys know, once we have a design up, you can change the price, you can change the description and the tags, but you can't actually change the design short of just removing the t-shirt and re-uploading it. So that's one negative thing, is a lot of people are saying, look, my designs are placed lower on the t-shirt. You know, some people have said they've gotten some negative reviews over it. Other people I've talked to have just ordered their own shirts and are just kind of unhappy with the placement. But there's really not much you can do about it. Hopefully, Amazon maybe figures this out and kind of like sets the type a little bit different or something like that. But, you know, I'm hearing some people who are removing old t-shirts and just, you know, raising the design higher up on the shirt and re-uploading it. The negative thing about that is you're going to lose a BSR score. You're going to lose all the search rank that you built up. If you have any reviews on that t-shirt, you're going to lose that as well. So my plan, I mean, I'm just going to, whatever existing t-shirts I have up, I'm going to leave them up there. And I may, you know, if I am starting to see that, I may re-upload those designs, select a couple different shirt colors, and raise the design a little bit higher on the shirt. But I'm not going to be removing anything. That's kind of how I'm tackling this. So that's one update. Another thing I heard from the Merch Minds podcast, and this will be groundbreaking if this comes out. So Yong had apparently talked to, I don't know if it was a developer or somebody who had hired some developers to work on a software, but essentially the software this guy's creating is going to automate the process of uploading your Amazon shirts. But not only that, it's going to automate the process of uploading your shirts to Amazon, but with like literally one click you can upload to, and Yong didn't really reveal what the 4 platforms were, but essentially you can upload with one click you can upload your shirt to 4 different platforms. So we'll just say, for example, like Amazon merch, Etsy, Redbubble, and TeePublic. You know, I'm guessing from how he described it, you'll probably upload a design. You'll probably also upload like an Excel sheet or fill out some kind of form that has kind of like a selection of like shirt colors, titles, tags, descriptions, maybe some keywords or something like that, because obviously every platform has a different upload form, right? Like on Amazon merch, it's title, bullet points, description, shirt colors, and price. On some other platforms, they may have like a keyword selection or a tag selection. So I'm guessing they'll take enough info to where they can upload this info into every platform. And then literally with one click, you could upload like 50 designs all at one time across 4 different platforms. So this would really be kind of a game changer. It would really be pretty groundbreaking, and why it would be such a big deal. Think about how much time it takes you to upload a shirt to Amazon, right? Like even if you have your titles, bullet points, and description ready to go, I know when I upload a design, okay, after I upload the design, Amazon clocks for maybe 30 seconds, then it takes me to the page with titles, tags, and descriptions. I put that in, and I gotta wait for the next page to load. Then I select my shirt color and price, then I gotta wait for the next page to load. And even if you have everything ready to go, just clicking through all the screens can take a few minutes. And you know, when you're uploading 10, 15, 20 designs a day or hundreds of designs a week, that's a lot of wasted time. Now, think about if you also have to log into 3 other platforms and you have to upload these designs manually across all these different platforms. Like, it takes a ton of time. So Yong said he actually saw this software in action. He said it seemed pretty streamlined, pretty user-friendly, pretty easy to use. And he said literally within about 2 to 3 minutes, he said the guy actually had him set the stopwatch on his iPhone. And he said within 2 or 3 minutes, this guy had uploaded something like 33 or 35 designs across 4 different platforms, all with 1 click. So that's pretty amazing. That kind of piqued my interest. So last night I kind of started digging into this a little bit. And there actually is a Reddit post. I'll see if I can find it. If so, I'll link it in the description box below. I should have saved it. I don't think I saved it. But somebody had written like a Python script. And if you guys have never run scripts, you need to be a little bit more technical in order to do something like this. It's not like as user-friendly as like an app or a software. But basically, you could use this Python script to upload like an Excel report and then automatically upload your Amazon merch design. So this might be helpful for somebody who's using a VA, where maybe your VA provides you with like 100 designs, and then he also writes the title, the bullet points, and the description for you. And as opposed to you having to go through one by one and upload these, or as opposed to you having to pay the VA to go through this very slow manual process, with literally 1 click with this script, you can upload everything. Well, somebody in this Reddit thread had pointed to something in the TOS that said Amazon specifically says in the TOS you are not allowed to use automation to upload your design. So Yong had said that within the next day, 2 days, 3 days, he should have access to this software. If you guys want to learn more about it, Yong has a website or a blog called Geek Hustle, and he's also on the Merch Minds podcast. So if you want to stay tuned to that, maybe he'll be doing kind of an unveiling or kind of showing off the software. Yeah, it sounds really awesome. The one thing that kind of concerns me is, like I said, I have heard, and I was meaning to dig into the TOS myself, but I have heard that Amazon prohibits automation for uploading designs. I imagine they want to keep like the quality of the bullet points, tags, and descriptions good. They want to keep the quality of the t-shirts good. They don't want a bunch of bots like posting all this garbage on Amazon is I think the reason. But if this software comes out, I suppose, use your judgment if you want to risk using it on Amazon. At the very least, you could use it, you could still manually upload your shirts to Amazon merch, but let this software automate the other 3 platforms, whatever they may be. So I thought that was an interesting announcement. I'm going to kind of stay tuned to Yong for that. And if I hear anything interesting about it, I will, let you guys know. Also, maybe I'll try to reach out to the guy, see if I can get on as a beta tester and try it out or something like that. Now I figure we'll move on to the whole thing about passive income. So Glenn and Yong got into a discussion about, like, is Amazon merch truly passive income? And I thought that's an interesting discussion. I think a lot of people, like, kind of have a weird view of what passive income is. I think a lot of people think passive income is like, I do nothing and I just get to sit back and collect money. Now, there's very few things in life that are truly 100% passive. I think the true definition of passive income is like getting dividends from a stock or something like that. Another example might be getting royalties. I remember hearing that the guy who wrote the Saved by the Bell jingle, every time a Saved by the Bell episode is played, he gets something like $7,000. I've heard the same thing about, if you guys remember that 70s show, the guy gets, a couple $1,000s every time a replay or a rerun airs on TV. He gets like $7,000. So, I mean, that is truly passive income, right? The guy wrote a song, he licensed it to that 70s show, and he's sitting home, doing whatever he's doing, and every time that show comes on, he's earning a passive income. Now, for most of us, we don't have enough money to throw into an investment and live off passive income, and most of us aren't talented songwriters and musicians to the point where we can just create a song and license it. So for a lot of us, passive income isn't necessarily going to be no work. It's just going to mean separating our time from our pay. So, I mean, if you work as a busboy at a restaurant, you're only getting paid for that time that you're on the clock. However, if you're an eBay seller, you throw up some listings on eBay, and even when you're sleeping, even at your day job, you might get a sale to come through and you might make some money. And sure, you got to go home and you got to print the label and you got to ship the item out, but right, it's more passive than working a job and being paid exactly for your time. So when we talk about passive income, I think very few things are completely 100% passive, but a lot of things do separate your time or your effort from your money, and that's really what passive income is all about. And kind of where I came up with this kind of analogy about non-alcoholic beer is like passive income. Non-alcoholic beer still has some alcohol in it, right? I believe a non-alcoholic beer has like 0.5% alcohol. So sure, you'd have to drink like 9 or 10 non-alcoholic beers to equal the amount of alcohol in one normal beer. But nonetheless, it does have some alcohol in it. And I guess my point there is that most things in life aren't cut and dry. Most things in life aren't black and white, and passive income is one of them. You know, I think things can be considered passive income without being completely passive. Like even with dividend investing or investing in the stock market and things like that, at some point you are going to have to keep an eye on your portfolio. You are going to have to rebalance your portfolio. At the end of the year, you're going to have to do your taxes. So, I mean, where exactly do we draw this line of, okay, you did have to do some work, so it's no longer passive income? I do think Amazon merch is much more passive than a lot of other types of businesses. I mean, Amazon merch, you throw up the design, and at that point, you're pretty much done. I mean, can you do some external promotion of your shirts? Yeah, sure you can, but really nothing that you can do, in my opinion, equals the power of Amazon's organic search traffic. So just being on Amazon, a platform that, you know, millions upon millions of people per day browse, just being on that platform and having your shirts searchable on that platform is way, way more powerful than anything you could possibly do on your own, short of you being like a YouTube influencer who has like 1 million subscribers, right? Like short of that, there's almost nothing that you can do that can equate to Amazon's, being an Amazon search ranking. And, sure, if you continue uploading designs, your work's going to compound, right? Like if I have 30 designs from last month, and now I have 30 from this month, and now I have 30 from next month, like the more shirts you have, the more likely you are to sell. However, that said, as a merch seller, let's say I upload 500 shirts, maybe it takes me, 2 months to do. At the end of that period, I could take a step back from Amazon merch, never log into that account again, and it's still going to bring me in a couple $100 a month in passive income. So that's why I would consider Amazon merch passive income. You don't have to set up a website. You don't have to handle any customer service inquiries. You don't have to get a payment processor set up. You don't have to print anything. You don't have to ship anything. It really doesn't get very much more passive than that. And Glenn, in their discussion, even commented, he's like, eBay is far from passive. And the way that he does eBay is even less passive than other methods. So, I mean, if I ordered stuff in bulk from China, right, from Alibaba, I order 1,000 fidget spinners, I put up one eBay listing for a fidget spinner, and sure, as they sell, I have to ship them out one by one. But it's not as if I'm having to put up 1,000 different listings, right? I have one consistent product. I put up one listing on eBay or Amazon, and when that product sells, I just ship it out. Now, when I need to reorder inventory, I just send an email to my supplier in China. Hey, I need 1,000 more units. Okay, send a wire here, send Western Union, give us your credit card, whatever the payment method may be. And I have 1,000 more units come in, and now I'm stocked for the next 3 months, and I don't have to really do anything else besides ship stuff out. Now, the way that Glenn does his eBay sourcing, he's running around to Ross, Burlington Coat Factory, thrift stores, all this type of stuff. He's running around to all these stores, and he's constantly sourcing, right? Like every item he sells, he has to go out and find. So that's very labor intensive. Not only that, but because every item he sells is different, right? He's not finding the same item at every Ross or every Burlington Coat Factory. So that means for every listing he puts up, he's having to do keyword research, right? And he's having to craft a unique listing. So today he's selling the LeBron James shoes. Tomorrow he's selling a USA Olympic hockey jersey. The next day he's selling a pair of Jordans. So he's going to have to do keyword research and individually list each one of those items. So his way of selling on eBay is going to be different and a little bit less passive than somebody who's sourcing, the same product from China. But anyhow, in regards to this whole passive income thing, he and Yong kind of started talking about the book, The 4-Hour Workweek. And I think a lot of people who criticize the book, The 4-Hour Workweek, haven't actually read it and don't really have an understanding of Tim Ferriss's mentality behind work. So if you've actually read the book, I think the two main components to why the 4-Hour Workweek is actually possible is, number one, Tim Ferriss doesn't include activities he enjoys doing. He doesn't include those in the work category, and he doesn't count them for work. So, while Tim Ferriss may spend 6 hours a day writing, he actually enjoys writing, so that doesn't count for work for him, right? Now, if it comes to doing some type of like analytic research for his book or something like that, okay, maybe he doesn't enjoy that. That might qualify as work. But Tim Ferriss is probably doing dozens of hours of work per week that he's not actually qualifying as work. So that's why when he says I work 4 hours per week, he may have in reality worked 40 hours per week, but because he enjoys doing those things, he's not counting those as work time. So I guess that can be a little bit misleading to somebody who hasn't read the book, but that's why the 4-hour work week is possible. The second thing, excuse me, in regards to the 4-hour work week is Tim Ferriss seems to be big on starting like lifestyle type businesses. So it's been a while since I read the 4-hour work week. I forget exactly what kind of the examples he gives in there. I know there's some examples of like people sailing around the world and kind of documenting their experience and earning an income off that, or people who enjoy, you know, art, creating maps and things like that. In terms of lifestyle businesses, I think one of the best examples I can give you is some of these like YouTube travel vloggers, right? Like they travel the world, they do all types of fun activities, they wear a GoPro while they're doing it so that they can document it, and maybe at the end of the day, maybe they got to do an hour or 2 hours worth of editing in order to put that video up on YouTube. And so some people may say, well, that's not passive income, they're having to work an hour a day, you know. But in the grand scheme of things, if you could go to a job as opposed to if you could travel the world, go to interesting places, meet interesting people, do all these fun activities, and all you have to do is wear a GoPro and spend an hour at the end of the day kind of compiling that together into a video and editing it, that's a pretty good deal in my book, and I would still consider that passive income. So, you know, in terms of passive income was kind of like the buzzword in entrepreneurship in 2017. A lot of people say, oh, passive income doesn't exist, or, oh, passive income is really only used by people who are trying to pitch you some kind of course. Well, I would say that there's some truth to that. You know, to me, passive income simply means separating your time from your money. So, you know, on Amazon Merch, like I said, you upload a bunch of designs. The ad's going to take you some work up front initially, but once those designs are up, for as long as they stay on Amazon Merch, you are making money. And the other thing why I really consider Amazon Merch to be passive income, let's think about if we wanted, I was actually thinking about making a video recently talking about, like, are you creating a job or are you creating a business? Now, in my mind, a business is something where you have policies in place and you have processes in place to where you could take a step back from your business and you could either hire somebody or bring somebody else in, and that business would run flawlessly without you. Now, when you create a job, well, yeah, you're still working for yourself, you're still an entrepreneur, you're still self-employed, but you're having to go into the office every day and keep up with this stuff every day. And my business, I'll admit, my business, I've actually created myself a job. Now, granted, I get to work for myself. It's a very well-paying job, but nonetheless, I have to go into the office every day. I mean, I have a business partner, so I'm going on vacation to Mexico at the end of the month here. So, I mean, I can take a step back, and he's going to run the business. But if I didn't have a partner, I couldn't leave my business and things couldn't run on their own. Same thing for Glenn of Merch Minds. If he wanted to go on vacation for a month or 3 weeks or whatever, he's either going to have to pull down all his eBay listings, or he's going to have his brother or friend or Yong or somebody continue to fulfill orders for him. Now let's look at Amazon Merch. If, you know, with my Amazon Merch business, when I go to Mexico later this month, I don't have to pull any listings down. I don't have to hire somebody else to run my business. Sure, I may stop uploading designs for the week that I'm gone, but I mean, while I'm gone, Amazon is going to be taking payments. Amazon is going to be shipping my orders out. Amazon is going to be handling any customer service issues or inquiries. So in that sense, Amazon Merch is very passive in the sense that I can take, you know, I can go to Hawaii for a month and my Amazon Merch is running flawlessly, whereas with a Shopify store or an Amazon business or an eBay selling business or even a consulting business, all of those things are things that I have to be involved in to keep the business running and to make money. Whereas Amazon Merch, I upload those designs and then I can take a step back. Even if I'm doing marketing, those shirts are still searchable in Amazon Search. They still have the high BSR scores. They're still selling. They're still being fulfilled. So in that sense, I think Amazon Merch is very passive. Anyhow, guys, I just pulled up here. Got to go get my coffee. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. What are your thoughts on passive income in general? And even, like, is Amazon Merch passive income? Let me know what you think. Drop them in the comment section below. And then also, if any of you guys are noticing you're making less money with these new shirt royalties, if any of you guys have ordered the Port & Company shirts and are noticing the designs being lower down, drop a comment below. Let me and everybody else know about it. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. And I'll catch you guys on the next video.